and welcome to another series of Workspace Meets. Today I'm joined by Ramy Samir, Head of Design at MB Consultancy. Ramy's been working in the design industry for the last 6 years in the UAE. Hi Ramy.
Hi Lucy, happy to be with you today.
Nice to have you. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. So let's get to know a little bit more about you. Tell us, how did you choose your career in architecture and interior design?
I believe architecture was not my first option. It was just a logic option. I didn't even know more about architecture when I joined the field. I didn't have any reference within my family or even be an architect before I joined architecture. But I felt, yeah, this is maybe like one of the things that I can find passion about it. And specifically the architecture, it has a broad range or big diversity of jobs or tasks inside. I didn't pick even the design. I feel the design picked me up. Like when I started to get awarded for some competitions as well as a person. So I felt, yeah, maybe like somebody out there would like what I'm doing. So I continued at that field.
Well, it must be very challenging from time to time. So tell us about your most challenging project.
Each project definitely has its own challenges. It has its interesting story. I usually say that the design is about the story. The design or the building or the architecture itself is like a piece of literature. You can imagine that it's like a novel. As we are saying, the story is like a novel. Each space is one of the characters. So you start with each space giving it an identity and giving it looks, how it's going to look and how the people will interact. So you start as well to study your stakeholders or the users or your client as well, how he wants this character and how he will interact with it. Okay, the people that they will look at your novel or your literature, how they will interact with it. So you're building, you keep doing the beginning, the data collection or new research to build this own character, give them looks. And we doesn't have villains definitely in our stories, but we definitely have to build it in a way that make the client feel that this is exactly what he wants. It reflects what he needs as well. So as long as those is going, it's based on each story. And the stakeholder doesn't only have to be the user, definitely in each country that you're working, there is an authority or there is a regulation or there is even some conditions. And absolutely, the people even going through the construction is one of the stakeholders. So you have to work to all these levels and work with all those people as a team to collaborate with them to have the final product, which is your building and your space.
Yeah. So I say you believe that in order to help resolve the challenge is to do your research and your literature around the client in order to help produce the best project that's suitable for them.
Yeah, because each typology or each building, even if I'm working on one typology, if I'm saying I'm going to be a resident, so each person or each client definitely has a unique hat.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone has its own unique on his own way. Okay. Everybody wants as well like a different taste, different experience. Okay. So that's why even our business exists. Okay, because everyone is unique and is different, and he has its own taste. Okay, if everybody has the same taste, we were just doing a prototype of houses. Okay, so we're luckily that this is the human nature, so that's why our career even exists.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, that's for sure. So Ramy, I can see that you're in the office. But what do you prefer? Because you said before that you've only just recently come back to the office. So did you prefer working from home or do you like the office environment?
That's a very good question. And it's a very hot topic. Recently, we were talking about it a lot. We worked recently from home for 3 months, and I really get surprised. I was not feeling comfort at the beginning, but I really get surprised how we all get productive and innovative to work from home for the full team. It was really a big surprise. Uh, and I believe this is like the working from home is not a new thing. Like it's in the world, around 15% of the workforce they're already working from home, and this is how mainly the work will intend to continue because like it's increasing like around 10% per year. But the pandemic make it speeded up the process, I believe. And this will as well, it will change the architecture itself. Because now you can see like many companies, they start to reducing the real estate that they are working on. And a lot of banks in the US now has been reducing the area that they are working in.
Mm-hmm.
So now all the landlords of the work offices, they have to think differently. As maybe like it will be something like the application to share office. So you can have ideas about the offices will be by the spaces to be shared. What happened after the crisis in 2008, 2009, a lot of sharing economy like Airbnb or Uber is about sharing economy for the people that they share the space to live. Okay, like Airbnb. I believe the work of or the workspace, it will need something like this to revive it again. And as well, the people working from home have their own challenges from distractions, from absolutely the human interaction is required as well. So you will find the home itself, the structure, is going to be redeveloped. You're going to find a lot of cool housing, which is having a common area for working, which has a meeting rooms or even a silent room to have such conversation, even if it's virtual.
Mm-hmm.
You will find, even if the homes are existed, you will find in the neighborhoods and spaces for a co-working, which is, I believe, it's started here, even in UAE in some buildings. Even one of the new buildings that we designed it as a residential building, one of the amenities is a co-working space.
Mm.
So this is, I believe, the industry even will change. So, but the pandemic definitely had speeded up the process significantly.
Yeah, but you said earlier as well, though, that your company has actually been extremely productive from working from home.
Yeah, that's true. But I believe if we continue after the 3 months, it will be a lot of stress because everybody needs for the human interaction.
Yeah.
And by the condition of the lockdown, everybody after finished the work, he has no place to go. So now the work it becomes the only place that is like to have a human interaction after the lockdown. So it will be a lot of stress to continue from home, but it has to speed it up, and we have to live with it. That's what I believe. We have to live with it because this is how the way of the work space will be in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think keep the office. I vote keep the office.
So far, we're going to say that.
Ramy, can you share a success story of your favorite project, interiors project that you've worked
on? As well, like it's a trick question. So the Edge project, like we happy to say that it's a success story, or this one what we believe even because we as we're starting from the design, we take the requirements from the client and we take his vision. Always the client come with a vision, but he doesn't know exactly how the things will come in a space and materialistic. He doesn't have a feeling, and we need to reflect his feeling into a physical thing, and we need to give him the story. As we just mentioned that you building the characters of the spaces, we need as well to get inspired by the client and his requirements. So one of the things that we have to inspire as well from the client, because maybe the client is not the user as well of the space. If you were doing a big residential building or work offices or museums, etc., the user of the space, it will not be exactly directly the client. So all the stakeholders and the end user, you need to study them. So you study about the psychology and sociology and anthropology and maybe even much more deeper about the philosophy about this industry and that work. Okay, this is what I feel that inspired me more to read about this, the human nature itself. So based on this, I have definitely when I have like a house, at least from the design stage. I remember a client without mentioning names that when I just show him the first rendering image, like in a 3D of his house, he didn't say this is what I like. I say this is what I dreamed of. So at that moment, I felt that it's exactly what he was looking for, and I felt that I get the message correctly, because it's not all the clients as well that you can understand from the first time. There definitely you can have a trial for that to understand exactly how, to which extent your understanding or your interpretation of his requirements. So at that moment, I really felt that, yeah, we really reflected it correctly in our design, in our aspect, in our architecture field as well.
Amazing. Such an amazing story. Thanks for sharing that with us. So you're a designer. You must get inspired all the time. What's the most inspirational thing anyone has ever said to you, or something that you've heard?
It's absolutely, as I mentioned, it's all about the human nature. Mm-hmm. For most of the time, I'm reading about the philosophy and then about the sociology as well. Plus that we have some studies there while I'm studying. But it's, let's say that as well, like some architecture, when I'm looking to some other architecture buildings or architecture experience, and I believe one of the most famous architecture experience in the contemporary or the modern history was the Guggenheim by Frank Lloyd Wright, because it was a kind of a turning point. It was very famous. Okay, there was honestly many other projects was famous and it was very beautiful. But that one specifically, it has been a turning point in the design because it's absolutely innovative. It changed even the audience coming to the museum, and it changed the way of thinking of the contemporary design. Before the Guggenheim Museum of New York, there was always a fixed program. You have spaces, you have the number of spaces, this is the area, and that's it. But the contemporary design is not like this at all. It's simply you have a vision and you come to the client, okay, and he has just a vision, okay, and you become the storyteller. So we have to build the story with the characters based on that vision. And as well, for back to that building, of the Guggenheim, the turning point in the design of the museum, because before this, the audience or the users or the people looking to go to the museum was mainly the specialists, archaeologists, or maybe even like the people that they are very concerned, or a specific category of the people going to this, like maybe it's the elite or the people has an interest of the art. But after that building, he makes everyone get interested about going to museums. So he introduced a new culture of the museums by that building and by that type of architecture.
Wow, that is very, very interesting. And I never expected you to say anything like that. So you've just opened my eyes to something new.
That's really my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ramy. It was an absolute pleasure getting to know you.